If you know me, and if you know my channel, then you probably know that I'm a happy owner of a KTM RC390. And you also know that I really like practicing and trying to improve. So what I found when I looked on the internet for videos on how to improve and especially on how to ride a 300 class bike fast, I found that there's really limited information, and most people that actually do any videos that sort of resemble what I'm looking for, it's often from people like Alberto Naska and Slutty, for example, who really already know how to ride bigger bikes fast. And I believe for them it is a different situation to what it is for me. So what I want to do in this video is show you what I put together from the information I found online, and I also want to look through one of my labs on the Pannoniaring to check out which mistakes I could identify and how I think I should go about tackling them. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
With this kind of bike you should have more corner speed and go a lot faster into the corners. So you can try this and also try to lean the bike a bit more than what you are doing.
I feel like I'm leaning, but I can lean a lot more.
You can do more, yeah. But
So I just enter faster and exit faster.
Not too much, little by little, step by step.
He said to enter faster, so it's not my fault if I crash.
Okay, so we enter faster, we have higher corner speed, we exit faster, we lean more, and still we somehow manage not to crash.
How do you ride the 300?
Brake as late as possible, come hard in the corner, and then when you're at the apex, just open the throttle.
Always full gas?
Yeah, always full gas.
Okay, so this is interesting because most people will actually tell you to be very gentle, to be very smooth when riding the throttle. But these people, they ride 600s, they ride liter bikes. And if you're like me riding on a 300, apparently once you hit the apex, you just go full throttle.
With the 300, you make a round shape corner. You try to bring as much speed as possible, and then in mid-corner you are already full gas and you try to exit as round as possible to maintain the speed.
So yeah, that's actually it. That's all I could find on riding tips that are specifically aimed at people who ride within the 300cc class. So let's take a look what I did on my first track day.
Now it's going to be interesting how quick I can dare to brake or not brake here. Yeah, that's quick enough. Okay, 105.
So my friends had already told me that you can ride through the corner a lot quicker, but the maximum that I personally managed was 112. So I could increase my speed ever so slightly, but according to the speedometer, it only added up to maybe 10 kilometers per hour. But now let's take a look at how Slutty did in that corner. So he basically already is a lot quicker before the turn. At a speed of 149, he begins to brake ever so slightly until he has a speed of 129 right before the apex, where he ever so slightly reapplies the throttle. In essence, my mistake was really that simple. I was just going too slow into the corner and I wanted to brake before the corner rather than ever so slightly touching it while riding towards the apex to load the front and then to get on the gas again. And this mostly was a psychological problem, so you just don't feel comfortable yet to ride through a corner with that speed. At least I haven't, because you usually never experience such corners on the Autobahn, and on public roads I tend not to ride that fast.
I need to relax a bit. My hip is aching a little.
This brings me to another point. When I'm practicing, I get my knee down very easily, but on the racetrack I didn't manage, and I think this is a combination from being too conservative, and that is not going all out with my hang-off, and the second thing is that I'm simply not as comfortable with the higher speeds. This corner here is another one where on a 300 you really don't have to brake at all, but it also really helped that other people had already told me that, so it was reassuring and I only had to still process that. And for the corner which followed, the one which I was just talking about, we have a comparison clip from Stati, so let's take a look. Once more, the difference seems to be that he apparently doesn't brake at all, where I am braking a lot and thus I'm a lot slower. And you can also see his hang-off is a lot further, his lean angle is bigger, and as a result, the biggest difference, or the biggest indicator of the difference really, is that he's using the entire track, whereas I have a lot of track left over, so to speak. In this corner, yet again, you can see that I'm just braking way too much before the corner. And if you're wondering about my line, yes, that was the line that we were told was the best one.
No one behind me. Hit that apex. Right there.
In this last comparison, we can once more appreciate the sheer difference in speed between me and Slutzy. According to his lap time, which he told me, and the lap time I could figure out by checking my videos, he was actually 19 seconds faster.
Relax a bit on the straight.
To conclude, all the advice that I think I needed was this.
Go a lot faster into the corners, so you can try this, and also try to lean the bike a bit more than what you're doing.
I feel like I'm leaning, but I can lean a lot more.
You can do more, yeah. But
so I just enter faster and exit faster.
Not too much, little by little, step by step.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do in the front there, because you can't ride that very quick. I'm not sure I dare to do so yet.
Essentially what I need to do is to get more time on track and get used to bigger speeds and maybe refine my hang-off, although hang-off is not what you should primarily focus on when you are not really that fast yet. I hope you liked this video and found it interesting. Please join the discussion in the comments. What do you think about the 300 class situation? Bye!